Hey, what's up everybody? BDO 44 coming at you another video. Alright, so yeah, Lakers. So we got a game at 5:30 tonight. I made a video early this morning. early in the morning, around 7 a.m. Talking about the game tonight with the Pacers. With the Mavs. I don't know why I got the Pacers on my mind, but yeah, the Mavericks. And you know, the Mavericks game will be on ABC tonight. It's going to be one of the first ABC games of the year. Of course, we've already had them on Christmas, but most of the ABC games are usually on Sunday. So I don't know what the specialty is for giving us 5:30 ABC games. I don't know if that's just going to be something they do from now on out on ABC, or they give you a random game on a Wednesday at like 5:30. I don't. That's not something they usually do unless it's a holiday or something. Usually their games are on Sundays or Saturdays, usually beginning around this time of year. But yeah, that's what we got tonight. Luka the Don coming back from injury and all of that. And you know, now that I've seen the Pacers trade go down and they got 3 picks for an expiring contract of Pascal Siakam, depending on how the market views that trade could determine the Lakers' ability to get rid of a potentially expiring contract like D'Lo at an amount that may be a little more than what we were expecting to be able to price him at. You know, I always try to gauge what the market is doing as it pertains to if something goes for something, if it's comparable in any way, maybe what I have can go for, you know what I mean, for something similar or a lesser amount that would value it to make sense for the player. So, for example, we got an expiring contract of like Taurean Prince. He's shooting the ball very well this year. He looks like a good player. Maybe I can incorporate him into a trade as a piece that's desirable rather than just a throw-in. You know, maybe he can be considered a second-round pick value. Especially when I saw a guy like Jay Crowder go for like 5 second-round picks 3 years ago. Not to say it's the same market, because it's not, but it's like these are the type of things where the market will dictate what's possible. And trades like this can help dictate what you may think you may be able to receive for your goods, or for your players or whatever. So, you know, the value of a second-round pick has been described in this pick, in this trade rather, that just took place with the Pacers and Toronto and New Orleans. So, like, I walk away from that feeling optimistic that the market has set itself up for the Lakers to fare okay in it with what it is that we have. Expiring contracts, first round pick, couple second round picks. You know, when we were looking at the Utah Jazz, for example, last year or the year before that, rather, when they made the Rudy Gobert trade, you didn't feel good looking at what the market was priced at when you see what that trade went for. It set the market up in such a way to where you expected to not be able to get what you need for what you have. If Rudy Gobert goes for 5 picks and a bunch of players, including Walker Kessler and all different types of stuff, it's like, well, what can I get for my stuff? When I see Pascal Siakam's expiring contract go for 3 first-rounders and Bruce Brown, NBA champion shooting guard, I'm like, okay, that feels like a fair market. It doesn't feel like the market has been destroyed by that trade or set a tone that can't be matched by anything reasonable. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm here to say, tell you guys. I think that Pacer trade will make you feel pretty good if you're a Laker fan about maybe being able to let go of what you want for what it is that you need, or what you have, rather, for what it is you need. Maybe you don't have to throw in Austin Reeves to get a DeJounte Murray. Maybe you don't have to throw in, you know, D'Angelo Russell to get back all that you would otherwise need. I mean, of course, you expect to throw in D'Angelo Russell, but the point is you don't have to throw in too much to get back what's fair based on what this market has done for us and setting itself up with this Pacer Toronto trade. So it makes you feel pretty excited, man. It makes you feel pretty excited about what you got there, in hopes that maybe, just maybe, the Lakers can do something that can make our team a lot better, rather than sitting on a trade that has us giving up everything we don't want to give up and more, you know. So that's what I have to say about that particular thought. It's just, I feel confident the Lakers can make a trade now that we can live with. Maybe not as good as that mock trade that I made a video on this morning that was in Bleacher Report, which is ultimately leaving us in a golden position to receive a bunch of good for a bunch of bad. But, we can do something. That's basically what I'm here to say. The Lakers can do something. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what would be available to them in real life, but based on the market, something good should be doable, I guess is what I'm trying to tell you. So that's what I'm hoping for, man. Los Angeles Lakers, this game coming up tonight, we're going to give our guys an opportunity to continue to play their value up. A guy like D'Lo Russell, hopefully a guy like Rui Hachimura, play well with the minutes given, like they have been doing for the last couple games, especially D'Lo, who's really been balling out. You can call me crazy, but I think D'Lo's ready to be traded. I think so. I think he does want to be traded. And it's just a certain energy that has shifted from when he was talking, or rather not talking to the media, which was something that was made a big deal of last week, to where he is right now. He's balling as good as he has in over a year. You just get to a point where you think a guy's energy is shifted as it pertains to, all right, let me play my value up to get the hell up out of here so I can go to a more stable situation where I know I'm going to be re-signed and don't have to deal with all of this that comes with being a Laker. I just think he's in that space where it's like, all right, this is my chance to show people that when LeBron is out, I can ball out. And so bring me to a team that he's not on, and let's go. Maybe I can get me another all-star appearance with in your uniform. So that's what I'm taking from D'Lo, man. He knows he's going to be playing for another contract. Obviously, opting out is something that he's going to be able to do wherever he goes, including with us if he were to stay here. And I think he wants to try to make some money, man. And I think that the Lakers system has proven to be one that's going to ultimately cap off his upside as it pertains to playing his role his way. As long as we have multiple ball handlers and a need for him to play defense and all different types of stuff, slapping him next to players that don't necessarily complement his game, he can't never make that type of money. But if he can get traded to a team that can showcase him for what it is that we've been able to showcase him without Bron on the floor these last two games, or the way that he played yesterday in the last game, rather, with Bron on the floor, if he can be showcased in that way to where his starting role doesn't have to be fluctuating with the wind, you know what I mean, with the whim of the coach, whether or not the coach wants to play him at that position. And some consistency for a change would really help a guy like D'Lo Russell to get back to where he wants to be, to playing well. And so I don't know that he can do that long term in this uniform, man. I don't think he believes he can do that long term in this uniform. And I just feel like he's probably very, very excited at this point about being moved somewhere where he can. Or at least find himself in a position to be able to get a bag somewhere else where he can have a good closing to his season. So that's just my feeling. I ain't heard nothing from D'Lo that says anything like that. But when a guy is playing poorly, gets benched, doesn't play well with the minutes, goes dark on the media, and then comes back balling, you just know that he's found some new life somewhere. Either somebody's, something rejuvenated his spirit for this game. And I think that that's more than evident to me in watching how this last month has gone for him. So the only thing that has changed is the fact that he was able to start back in the starting lineup and show that he had some real pop to his game in this era of his life, that he's not just rendered the player that hasn't been playing well and is going to stay that way. He can still be that old D'Lo Russell in the right circumstance. So for him, I'm excited. If the Lakers can move him to the right situation, I think he'll be very pleased. And I think you'll see him play much better basketball for them than he did for us. Overall. He's still going to be inconsistent, but some of the inconsistencies from him, I think, stem from the inconsistencies with our coach not using him in a consistent way, and some of them rotations that just flat out expose his weaknesses more so than his strengths. And so, I think a lot of players on our team had that problem. Christian Wood would have had a much better season. Rui, obviously, with the injuries, But in the event the injuries don't take place, the way we use him naturally leaves him in a lesser role than probably what he's ready to give us. Probably can do a lot more for us. I think a guy like Max Christie and inconsistency in his roles kind of stumped his growth a little bit. I think with Jalen Hood-Schifino, he probably deserves to be in a point guard position now that he's healthy. I think a lot of people have forgotten that Jalen Hood-Schifino, just like Vanderbilt, started the season with a bad injury. And he's trying to work his way back from in his rookie season. So when people are assessing Jalen Hood-Schifino specifically, they tend to leave that out. That he started the season with a bad injury that he took almost a month to recover from. So with him, I think he could be possibly traded as well. I would love to see him get into a situation where he can be given a primary backup point guard role or even a starting point guard role very soon to show why he was the 17th overall pick. And I think that would be something that he could look forward to if traded, because I don't see that coming here. So it's just a lot of stuff about our team. I was listening to Trevor Lane talk about the Lakers this morning. He was essentially kind of alluding to the same thing I am. Is that it's not about the players not being very good. It's about the coach not finding consistency in their roles or finding this legitimate role for them to play every night. Constantly changing roles, constantly changing the starting lineup. It just becomes a situation where guys can never actually put their foot or their handle on anything. And when you couple that with a sometimey practice routine, which I hope they figured out right now since we've been home for the whole month and will continue to be for the next couple of weeks, they should be practicing consistently and routinely, no different than these games have been consistent and routine on the schedule for this month, where we play every other night. That's how they should be practicing. And players will be better when that is the case. So I just want us to get our act together. Obviously, Jeanie Buss has told the coach that he's going to be staying. Y'all know I'm not a big fan of that motion. If you want to keep him, that's one thing. But letting him know he's safe, it's an entirely different thing. And I just don't think that was the best way forward. Maybe it does kind of take the pressure off of you in regards to the media keeping up the idea of making talking points around firing the coach. But at the end of the day, if you're going to fire your coach, you've gotten all you need from him right now, in my opinion, to make that decision. So, needless to say, this car isn't going to allow me to make my video. But all in all, I just wanted to get here and tell you guys that my team is it needed some changes. It ain't just the players, man. It ain't just the players. It's all of them. Everybody from the top to bottom. The things that we talk about on the channel, want to make sure that it contributes to a better overall Laker environment. Everybody has to be better. Just like Giannis said about his team, and it has to come from even the people who do the laundry. Everybody has to do better. You know what I mean? They got to get the clothes cleaner. Like, it starts everywhere, because at the end of the day, one thing trickles down to another. And a lot of times I wonder if the overall environment of conversation around our team doesn't cater to the pressure that the team tends not to work well with. You know what I mean? It makes me wonder if sometimes when I say certain things, if I'm not just piling it on even further to make this a lesser environment for a lot of guys. But at the end of the day, we're a pressured team. We're a pressure cooker. Our whole roster is about every year putting us in a position to have the best opportunity to win a championship. And if we're not doing that, what the hell are we doing? If we're not putting ourselves in a position to win the finals, then we're not living up to the standards that have been set for us for many, many moons before these times right here. So that's what it really comes down to. I don't mind contributing to a little pressure if it's going to make it so that this team is better. I don't mind contributing to a little bit of, negative conversation if that negative conversation can inspire positive change. And so, it starts here in the mirror. And it ends with Jeanie Buss making good decisions trickling down to the team. And I'm aware of that. the role that I play as one of the talking heads. Many talking heads that talk about this team on a regular basis. You know, we're rooting for our coach, we're rooting for our players. We want everybody to succeed. And if we stop believing in people, sometimes it's very easy to verbalize that. But at the end of the day, it's a fluid situation, and guys can reestablish themselves as worthy of being believed in just by winning some games, just by providing some consistency and listening to the criticism that needs to be said in order to be understood. We've put all this out there for Darvin. We've talked about it. Now it's time for him to show us that he can be better. These players, same thing. Austin Reeves, you know, we've put it out there. Hey, be better. Defensively, be better. Hit shots. But if guys don't put in the work, we're just talking. It ain't going to contribute to anything better. So that's really what I have to say, man. Kind of got derailed by that car down there. And I got a lot I got to do right now. It has my mind a little distracted. But at the end of the day, this is what we're talking about, not being distracted. Speaking to keeping focus and being consistent in whatever we're doing. So for me, it's making these videos and this channel and doing all the stuff I got to do in my personal life so I can be ready for these games. And it's for the team. It's for practicing and putting themselves in positions to succeed throughout the process of pressure and people like myself talking about the team every day. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. I'm pretty sure there'll be more to converse about. But for now, my name is BDL44, and I'm out.